In part one, we took apart a ton of stuff on the truck. If you haven't seen part one, then this one won't make as much sense. So go watch part one. It's the one right before this video. In this video, we are going to be taking care of a few more things on the teardown. So on the Titans with the fuel system, there is a sensor right here. That's the pressure relief valve sensor. So after 10 minutes of the truck being off, that will relieve all the pressure in the fuel lines. The truck's been off for weeks, so I think we don't need to depressurize the fuel system, but I'm going to definitely do it in the back of the truck instead of here. Got the oil draining right now. One thing that you check for whenever you blow an engine is metal shards in the oil. And I haven't even checked the oil yet, and I found one. Well, I guess that doesn't make sense. I did check the oil. Anyway, just pulling the drain plug. You guys can see there's a metal shard. There's actually a few metal shards in there. Got the downpipe clamp disconnected, downpipe still on there. Got the pedestal bolts pulled out, and then the uppipe bolts down on the manifold I have disconnected. So I can move the turbo. Can't quite pull it out yet. And another thing, just checking the oil real quick. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Metal, 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 some metal there. The up pipes are disconnected, but they're still kind of holding the turbo in, just how everything is positioned. So I think I'm going to take the down pipe off, and then I'll be able to push it back. It's just 3 bolts to disconnect it. It's definitely loose up there, but it's not coming off. So I was trying to film it for you, but I ended one of these bolts and the whole thing just fell out. But that probably means that the turbo can go back a bit and therefore come out, potentially. I didn't really want to take the up pipes off, but it's looking like I'm gonna have to. I can't figure out what's still attached. I mean, it's like practically coming out, but I can't figure out why it's not fully coming out. Maybe it's that line way down in there. That line way back there, right there. It's kind of hard to see. Won't come out. I guess it's the oil drain line. So any lines with like O-rings in them can be extremely difficult, and I think I might have just got that out. So I'm gonna place y'all here. I don't have a cameraman like sometimes. Cameraman's being Josh. Whew. Getting it out. Ugh. Man, this thing is heavy. Definitely the hardest part of the whole job was getting the turbo out. That was rough. It's out, and we have a ton of space now to get to the transmission bolts for later, and I'm a little winded. The biggest issue is going to be, where are we going to chain up the motor to pull it out? Is that a hole? There's a hole. Right there, y'all see that hole? There's a tiny, tiny, tiny hole in the block. May not be rebuildable then, I don't know. The hardest part about all this, I think, is going to be finding where to chain up the motor to pull it out. Maybe these alternator bracket threads are strong enough and the bolts are strong enough to put a chain there, and then same with the AC condenser, and then maybe the transmission bolts would be good. That's probably what I'll do. So, you have your wastegate actuator right there. There's the little turbo, and then the big one. Okay, coming out pretty easy, honestly. Try to show you guys too. Looks fine. No issue on the turbine there. Did some more wire harness labeling, like for the clutch fan and some of these other sensors, and you know, other sensors over here and stuff. And belt is off. Belt removed. All the wires in this alternator are in the, there's another one. I was about to say they're in the weirdest, most inconvenient spots. Let me get this last one clip. And there's the alternator, which happens to be extremely similar to the 5.9 Cummins. Okay. Just some bolts and some wiring and one AC line. Nothing interesting on getting the AC compressor out. 4 bolts and the AC bracket is off. So the reason that I'm labeling these is, one, if I do end up putting the same 5.0 back in, I can just find the stuff really easy. I know what it is. 2, if I engine swap it, a lot of this stuff is coming off. So if I do like a 5.9 Cummins, none of this is almost needed. Just a few little things might be needed. So because the 5.9 Cummins ECU would run a lot of that stuff. So even if we do the swap, the ECU will still run where it connects right there, but I have the main wire harness for the engine disconnected there, and still got to do this side. We are very close to this coming out now. Oh, little fuel filter sensor, gotta remember to get that. All this is the other side of the injectors. So you can see injector 5, I5. I have 1 through 4 labeled over here. So gonna just label these. They have these little sensors. I don't know what these are. They go onto these little barbs right there. Not sure what they are, so I just know that they're with the injectors, so that's fine. But yeah, gonna label those. Then let's disconnect this from here. And what else? I'm gonna pull that off. A lot of these extra wires here, these are like my tuning wires and stuff. I think everything might be disconnected. I keep forgetting this one. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's see if I actually got it off. Look at that. Wiring harness disconnected. And almost everything labeled. Honestly, not that big of a harness. So I need to label the injectors over there. I need to label the air intake stuff, where it mounts into the brake system. So I don't want a ton of fuel to come out whenever I disconnect this fuel line, and I don't want it to get all over the engine, so it would just make everything a little bit worse. So I traced that same fuel line where it comes to on the tank, and it's not right here. I don't know why I got under right here. All right, this is not gonna go well. Like nothing came out. Okay, I'm getting diesel all over me now. So the red line has more pressure, so I'm just kind of getting diesel everywhere right now. Let me see if I can find like a temporary bucket. There we go. I'm shocked it's still like coming out of those lines. Oh, when I opened that, I just heard it drain a ton on the other line. Kind of got fuel everywhere, but I got the lines off. Let's see how it goes pulling this off. Oh gosh, getting diesel everywhere. I got the fuel filter in the engine bay off, and I was gonna film it, but I pulled off one line and a ton of fuel just went everywhere. I pulled off these lines, but I thought there was not that much fuel left in the system. I was like, okay, yeah, a little bit will come out, but not a whole lot. So yeah, it drained up in that little hole that's in the block. And then when I took it off these here, thinking that there would definitely be no fuel this high up in the system after all that draining, yeah, then it went all up in the engine. But thank God this engine's shot anyways. This thing is destroyed, so it doesn't really matter. If this was an engine that ran, that would be a big problem. And you know, when dealing with fuel lines and, you know, high pressure things and things that explode, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It worked out well. It's just gonna smell like diesel in here because I got diesel all over there, I got diesel all over there, and I got diesel all over there. But you know, it's okay. It's all right. It's not a big deal. Let's get the transmission unbolted, not fully off, just unbolted, and then get the starter off. It's down here, so that's gonna be kind of difficult. It's way down in there. Oh yeah, I want to pull these coolant lines off, so I'll just disconnect them there. It was extremely difficult, but I got all the bell housing bolt off. Ow. Got it. Ow, I hit my head on the clutch fan. So guys, in this upload, we actually got a good amount done. It was just little stuff that took a long time, but we got the turbo out. That's a big one. We got the wire harness off. That's also a big one. We got fuel system off. We got all the belts and the accessories off. We got everything unwired, all the plumbing undone. I'm probably missing some other stuff, but we got a ton of stuff done in this upload. I need to do some things before we can pull the engine, like edit this video, and I need to figure out where it's gonna go. There's really no space in the garage. You guys can see everything's cluttered, so I'm gonna try and organize everything. Maybe I'll put this engine over there or something, like move the 240 or whatever, and then I can put this engine here, and this is where we'll tear it down. I don't know. But in the next upload, we will be taking the engine out, and we'll be getting to it quickly in the upload, I promise. So go and subscribe so you guys don't miss part 3. I hope you guys enjoyed part 2. See you in the next one.